Our guest this afternoon says he was on his way to becoming one of them. Brandon Bryan joins us now from Tyler, Texas. He served in the U.S. Navy for more than 20 years. He was part of 6 deployments before retiring in 2019. Brandon, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So when you retired, you really had a hard time. Tell us what you were going through.
Yes, sir. It was a difficult time in my life. I was going through some traumatic stuff with just the transition, but also in my personal life. And it added on to just my normal struggle with post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety. I didn't know how to vocalize my needs or wants. And that's kind of where my isolation started. And it was before I got out, and I was a part of this big family, right? Not only the Navy, but in naval special warfare. And I now realize that I was pushing everyone away, but I isolated myself really quick. And then that carried into the civilian life. They help you transition from getting from active duty to getting a job really quick. They're really good at that, but they don't teach you how to sit with yourself when you might not have a job or you might not be going to school. So I struggled a lot with being with myself, and that's been a huge learning process for me. But it's a tremendous one.
And Brandon, first of all, thank you so much for your transparency and really sharing your story with us. And we know that you've done several types of treatments from medication to therapy, but for you, it seems like psychedelic drug therapy through that group called Veterans Exploring Treatment Solutions really has helped you. Can you just describe those treatments you got and how those really played an impact in your life?
Yes, ma'am. Great question. I gave Western medicine a chance. I was on 7 different medications for sleep, for emotion, for anxiety, for, you name it. And I found myself just a shell of a human. I hadn't no feelings. And, that's when the darkness creeps in really quick. And, you're learning how to be a civilian, but you're also learning, for me, I went back home to be with my family, my immediate family. And it was like, I had to learn how those relationships again. And I struggled with that because I struggled with being with myself. And now I'm back with my family, and I had this story that it was going to be like a hero's return and all my friends were going to still be there. And that's not the fact, it's just my dad, my mom, my sisters, and me to figure it out. So I struggled really hard with that. And then vets came around, and honestly, it saved my life. It gave me the U-turn of life. Was what I like. My experience has been is just a U-turn of life. Of I was living for myself, but now I get to live for a higher calling, and that's and then not only my experience with vets is my relationship with Christ is cemented. Like my experience with plant medicine has connected me with my higher source, and that's Jesus. And I'm so blessed to be able to speak about him openly. And yeah, he saved my life. Everything after my experience in Mexico, everything that I read in the Bible made sense, and he's my best friend.
And we're
There's
glad.
hope.
Yeah, sure. There's hope. And we're glad that you're here to offer that hope. You're a testament to it. How hard is it, though, for a veteran to actually admit that they need help and then to take the step to get the help they need?
I mean, for me, it was really hard. I joined the Navy and then I got into special operations, and weakness is kind of not tolerated. So reaching out for help, I had the story of I was weak and I didn't need help and I could just drink it away. And I did that for 10 years, but it almost cost me my life. So there's other ways of healing and coping and actually dealing with the emotions and the trauma that I've faced has been the key, not being afraid to face those fears and those issues.
And Brandon, for you, once you admit that you need that help, once other veterans admit that they need that help, do you find that those resources are readily available for you to take part in?
My experience, yes, I believe there's resources out there for any need or any shortfall that a veteran is seeking, but they have to seek it. You have to self-advocate. That's with the VA. That's with your medical providers, both VA and out in town. You have to self-advocate. Like I know for me, being humble is also pushed in the military is be humble, be humble. But the reality is you're worth it. You're worth seeking the help. You're worth doing whatever modality you find that helps you. Like you're worth doing that. Like you're worth, taking the time out of the day to meditate and center yourself and be the best version of you for you. And once I realized that or had that epiphany, is that I was worth it. Like now it's just a glorious life to live. I'm able to fill people's cup from a full cup, whereas before I was trying to fill people's cup with an empty cup, and that it don't work that way. So, you know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the smile on your face says it all, and I think anybody watching who might be struggling similarly to you will be inspired by your story. I was going to ask you what the advice was, but I think you just gave it, which is you're worth it. Reach out, get that help that you need.
absolutely. I mean, you are a miraculous vessel that's been created by a wonderful God, and He loves you, and He put you on this earth for a reason. So you just got to find that out.
Brandon Bryan, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story with us. I'm sure that it will touch a lot of people and help a lot of people as well. Thank you, sir.
I sure hope so. Thank you so much for having me. I'm truly blessed. Thank you.